My name is Kevin Baxter. I am spokesperson for Pinellas County government, and we just wanted to provide an update on both the initial response to the incident here on Dorchester Drive and the county's response that's occurred since the initial call came in. And so Deputy Chief Brent Brewer from Palm Harbor Fire Rescue is joining me, and his department was the first responder last night. So I'll have you take us through that initial.
Okay. Good afternoon. About 11:30 yesterday evening, we received a 911 call at a residence for a public assist to the residents. The complaint was they were hearing crackling inside the home. At that point, Palm Harbor Fire Rescue responded to the residence and noticed that there was crackling coming from the flooring and also from the walls. At that point, the responding crews made the decision to grab as many belongings for the homeowner as possible and evacuate her to a safe distance. At that point, we got her out of the home, and throughout the evening, Palm Harbor Fire Rescue stayed on scene and monitored. We had a crew on scene throughout from 11:30 p.m. until now, till today at this point, monitoring the situation to assure that it doesn't get any increase in severity. At this point, that's what we have done. We have contacted the Red Cross for the homeowner. She is safe. She's with a neighbor who has been taking care of her, and she has been there since. So as of now, that is the actions of Palm Harbor Fire Rescue.
And as for Pinellas County, Palm Harbor Fire Rescue did contact the county. We've had utilities and public works crews out to evaluate our pipes, our stormwater, our wastewater, and our potable water pipes, and we found no issues in any of those pipes, so everything looks okay on that end. The Palm Harbor also contacted our building department, sent out a building inspector this morning, and the inspector confirmed that the property appears to be uninhabitable, and the follow-up on that will be conducted through the insurance company and the homeowner, reaching out to the insurance company and structural engineers to fully evaluate the property. We also had our risk management out this morning to ensure that our crews were safe out here as they were working through. And as the chief noted, Red Cross was contacted. We also had Red Cross contacted through our emergency management to ensure that we had shelter availability if there was any need for any further evacuations. So at this time, if you have any questions.
Has it stabilized at this point?
The fire rescue folks have been on the scene really the entire time since 11 or so last night, correct? And in terms of the state of the property, as Pinellas County, we're not able to go onto the to the private property to evaluate it any further than that.
Do you know? I mean, do you know whether or not this is going to get worse and other surrounding homes are threatened as well, or?
We can speak to the.
So basically, since yesterday evening, we have been monitoring the surrounding residents of the home, and it does not appear that it is increasing in severity. So what we are doing, the homeowner has been in contact with their insurance company, which will have a structural engineer come out to the structure, to the building, to actually determine it otherwise. So the actions that we are doing right now is we went door to door with the neighbors and really making them aware if there is a problem that they do, or they see something or hear something, to call 911 once again. From this point right now, it does not appear that it has spread to any other areas.
Are there needs to call in other either county or state officials to determine whether there is or is not a classification of a sinkhole? Seems like we're dancing around that word all day.
Really, again, because this is private property, this is something that the structural engineer will have to determine whether there is what the exact issue is on the property.
So it's really up to the homeowner's pace, right? It's really up to them at this point how fast or how quickly they move for those questions to be answered.
Right, the homeowner and the insurance company and whoever they're able to contact to bring out to the scene.
When we talk about it being uninhabitable, I mean, describe for us why. I mean, you can't say whether or not it's a sinkhole, but why can't someone go back in there?
I think the uninhabitable designation was determined through inspecting. As far as the building inspector goes, I can say he inspected the exterior of the property and noted the condition of the property and determined that it was uninhabitable based on that.
What is the condition? If either of you are able to just describe for us what happened, what's going on with the foundation?
What's the threshold he has to meet to say it's uninhabitable?
In terms of uninhabitable, it's just you know, the level of safety of the property based on what they're seeing in terms of there were cracks noted in on the side of the house, and those were part of the process, and certainly evaluating what the fire rescue folks saw when they first responded to the scene. I don't know if they're-
Everybody kind of thinks back to what happened this past summer with Land Lakes, where we had multiple homes. Is there a way, and is there a plan to identify, okay, how far is this spread out? Are other homes threatened here as well? You know, is there any idea or anything in the works to identify that?
Well, again, the monitoring that's been done by the fire department since first responding to the scene has allowed some insight into what the situation is, and then getting a structural engineer in to look underground and see what's really happening throughout the property is really the next step.
Where does that leave neighbors? You know, it's private property. They may or may not be obligated to tell you if their private engineer finds out if it's a sinkhole or not. Is it up to neighbors, especially immediate neighbors, to bring out their own structural engineers? I mean, how can neighbors handle this situation? Are you obligated to neighbors at all?
Well, again, I think what the chief said in terms of alerting them to the situation, that does allow them to take any actions that they deem necessary for their property and for their safety as well, based on what they're seeing in the area.
Chief, I have a question for you if you could step up. I'm able to see what I can see from the outside. We've seen some of the video from the inside. Although we're waiting for a structural engineer, I get that. What are some of the things that you're seeing that would be consistent with a sinkhole or some sort of depression underneath the property?
Well, again, what we're seeing cracks around the foundation around the perimeter of the structure, which is of a concern to us. And based on the findings that the initial crew that responded last night saw as well, a structural engineer really needs to get in to determine exactly what's happening inside of that building.
Some of the things that we've heard of in the past when people are inside their homes when this happens, and you can tell me whether or not this has been reported to you, are certain sounds, certain physical actions taking place between parts of the interior. Can you describe whether or not any of that was consistent?
So yeah, there was reports of crackling inside the house, and they did determine once they got there was crackling inside of the residence, and they noticed the floorboards popping off of the floors and actually cracking in the floors as well.
And that is consistent with what you've seen in the past when it has been some sort of depression or sinkhole?
Some kind of issue taking place.
When was the last time you had a sinkhole or settlement issue in your fire district?
I do not have that information to you
Common?
today. It's common in Florida. We haven't had any recently activity that I can recall within the last 5 years.
Has any part of that property sunken in?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Do they have a deep well here? Do they use the deep well to spray their yard?
I do not.
Because that could be the source of the problem, sir.
I do not have that answer.
Hey, Chief, can you get your spelling your first and last name and everything?
Brent Breuer.
Deputy Chief?
Yes,
Palm Harbor.
correct. Yes.
Thank you.